Warren Struhl. What an amazing entrepreneurial success story, and what a difference maker he's been to the lives of so many people. To have the vision at the age of 28 to pull together a relatively new technology and understand the personal uses that could mean to individuals when he got together the resources and the brain power and above all the hard work to start Paper Direct. Just fantastic. A couple of things that I took out of that. He revolutionized sourcing the papers initially. He revolutionized how we're marketed to individuals. And I'm sure that many people said there's no way that that's going to happen, but he did it. And he's been an inspiration to people because of that. To grow the company so quickly and then to never get complacent or self-satisfied and continue to start other firms. Leaping forward nearly 30 years to my photo, again, it's focused on taking an existing technology, an existing need that people have, in this case, to do something with all the masses of digital photos that people keep on their phones, and almost instantaneously and very simply give them a way to commemorate that, keep that, and in this process, building a tremendous business himself. A couple of the main takeaways that I got when he was talking about the businesses that succeed and the individuals that succeed in that, he said there's no secret sauce. His core observations, first of all, the idea has to be well thought through. It has to be a unique idea, and the people have to have been willing to listen, to hear the skeptics, to hear the feedback, and to not get defensive. In my experience watching people that have ideas, defensiveness is one of the reasons that they don't move forward with it. They're not willing to accept that input. So that was the first point that he talked about. Second, it's really about the individual who is literally obsessed with the idea and willing to walk through walls. Because business and growing a business from scratch isn't easy. We've heard that over and over from our guests. And so the willingness to walk through walls if necessary. Third, realize a business many times doesn't end up at all the way you envisioned it, but to be willing to zig and zag, as he puts it, to make changes. And the great example is popcorn at Walgreens. That was not their initial conception, but it's become highly, highly successful. And also the awareness of knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. That's at some point, the idea simply doesn't make sense, and you've got to pull out of that. And it takes a discipline, it takes some willingness to do that. He's a real believer in teamwork. He tries to combine teams with visionary people that have out-of-the-box thinking with people that are very much in the box, because that's how a business can remain profitable. When faced with a brick wall, be totally honest with yourself. It's hard. Of course it's going to be hard. No business starts as perfect. They use the phrase potholes. And when there's a pothole in the road in front of us, we try to avoid it. We know we can fill them in and fix them. What we don't want to do is to fall into a gigantic pit. And that can sometimes happen with potholes and sinkholes. So the awareness of that, he says he'll pull his team together over dinner and then say, all right, here's the situation. What do we do? And we've got to figure out what we can do. Now, my sense also is that Warren is constantly learning. Even in the heat of battle, he says, what could have gone differently? What could have changed here? So that he can make some really phenomenal changes as he moves forward and with other businesses as well. He's a believer in thinking ahead, listing all these potential problems that might occur, anticipating them, and having contingency plans, again, as a team. The time-honored technique of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, put on a big whiteboard with the input of really smart people, can help anticipate and lay plans in place that help a company become nimble and able to deal with those obstacles as they occurred. He's a real believer in giving. You could tell that. When I asked him, how do you avoid complacency or the sense of mediocrity? Really simple answer. He says, the more money we make, the more money we can give. And that is a real focus for him. You can totally tell how involved they are with organizations and making a difference with what they do. He's a believer in self-motivators, whether it's podcasts, inspirational phrases, Successories is a prime example, but also just realizing that there's a DNA of being motivated, that people recognize from a fairly early point in their life if they've got that self-motivated drive or if somebody's always having to lead them and push them into things. He really believes that 50 to 80% of entrepreneurial success is DNA of being motivated, which is so key. So one of the exciting things about this visit that we've had with Warren Struhl is that he's always growing, he's always focused, and he is willing to put up new ideas and even to take old ideas and rework them until something great happens. And I can tell there's going to be many more amazing things come from him. Again, his latest business is My Photo. You can take a look at it. Just send a photo, 123@myphoto.com, and give it a try. So we really appreciate Warren being on the Action Catalyst today. I'm encouraged and encourage you to take these points to heart. Make it a phenomenal week. Thank you.